Well, Ulises, other teams in the AL East are making moves, major moves, money moves. And the Rays are signing Chris Davinsky. That's kind of where we're at this juncture.
Is it kind of reminiscent of the Yankees getting Giancarlo Stanton and the Rays replying with Joey Wendell? Let's hope. Let's get started right now.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Locked On Rays. You can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays and email us anytime, whenever, lockedonrays@gmail.com. Voice memos are preferred. So, if you're a baseball fan and have been paying attention to the news wire, you of course learned that the Rays went out and re-signed reliever, bit player Chris Davinsky, while the Yankees first traded for Alex Verdugo and then made a mega blockbuster deal with the Padres acquiring Juan Soto. Yes, the Juan Soto, along with Trent Grisham in a 7-player deal. And beyond that, we have other AL East teams that are making some maneuvers or thinking about making some maneuvers. So the Yankees, I had read an article on Fangraphs that like over the last several years, they had made, minor moves, bit moves, replaceable player here, there, like going out and getting Jake Bowers or IKF. That doesn't really move the meter. Juan Soto, that's very Evil Empire-esque. And I will say, just like that, acquiring him and acquiring Alex Verdugo, I know they lost some players in that deal, but I would think that they've more or less upped themselves from a 500 team to a 90 to 92 win team just based on those trades alone.
I understand where you're coming from, and I think Juan Soto is a Hall of Famer in the making.
If he does what he's done at the start of his career for another half dozen years, he's a lock for the Hall of Fame.
Yes, I mean no doubt about it. And he's so young. He's 25, people, if you guys don't know that. So, however, and I'll add to what you're saying. The Yankees now have the best 2 hitters in all of the AL East in their lineup, without a doubt. And anybody who wants to refute that just doesn't know baseball. I mean,
maybe the best in all of baseball, not just the AL East. You could argue, I mean, Aaron Judge and Soto, they're in the conversation, or they're right up in the conversations with Alvarez, Trout, Freeman, Ohtani, etc.
Exactly. So, but definitely in the AL East. I mean, Toronto does not have that punch. The Rays don't have that punch. The Orioles and the Red Sox don't have. So they've guaranteed themselves the best 1-2 punch in the division. However, when I look back at what the 2023 season was for the Yankees, my gosh, I really don't think that this affects the Rays that much, because there are so many holes that they still have to plug in that Yankee team. Like, what is their rotation after Garrett Cole? Because you can't really trust Cortez and Rodon after the seasons that they had just had. Clark Schmidt, I'm not going to put my hand on the fire for that guy. So they don't have really a rotation right now. I really don't think. I think the move is Evil Empire-esque.
Yes,
but I don't think that just because of this move, the standings really saw a change, a shakeup. They would still need to do something else like that to make me think, oh, the standings have now changed, or the preseason standings have changed. But as I see it right now, they're not better than the Orioles and they're not better than the Rays.
That's fair.
Jays, okay, I'll listen to that argument, but I don't think they're still any better than the Orioles or the Rays.
Until the Jays sign and acquire Ohtani, which we'll get to in a little bit. But I would see and think with the warming seat of Brian Cashman, Aaron Boone and company that there's more on the come up for the Yankees. I'm talking Yamamoto, Snell. There's another shoe or two to drop in the coming days, weeks, and months. And I would feel like also not only is this a move for 2024, but it's a move through 2030, 2032. They have, I would think, desires to extend Soto as soon as possible or make sure that he's going to be in pinstripes for a very long time. With what we know his agent. And it's funny because a player of his caliber, it kind of amazes me that he'll be on his third team in 4 years. It's like hot potato with Juan Soto. But I think that he's probably found a landing spot with the Yankees because that's an organization that should and would be able to pay him. And I know he's we can talk about what he brings to the table and the on-base percentage, the walks, the fact that he played in 162 games this past season, the fact that he sprays the ball all around the field. But this is also easy pickings playing in Yankee Stadium with the porch for him and Verdugo, I might add. So, and also another wrinkle to this, we had talked about Manny Margot being tied or rumored to the Yankees and or Mets, among other organizations. Well, I don't think that the Yankees are going to be looking at him anymore because they brought in Trent Grisham as another outfielder. I mean, they essentially added 3 outfielders in the last couple of days here.
And they did what they needed to, right? Get left-handers like for that right field porch. So, no, again, really good move. I don't in the grand scheme of things, I don't think they got better than maybe the Jays, but you're right. That seat for Cashman and for Boone, it's getting hotter by the minute. So they had to do something like this. Now, let's take the Rays fan hat off and now I'm just a baseball fan right now. So,
okay.
As a baseball fan, I enjoy seeing Juan Soto. I really do. I like how he approaches the game. I think he's fun. I think he's really a tremendous talent. So it's really going to be awesome to be able to see him more often because being within the division, you're going to see a lot of his play, the whole game, multiple times. You're going to get to see his demeanor, who he is. That's really awesome as a baseball fan. No West Coast time. Like, that is all good and dandy for the baseball fan in me.
And I'll add this. It is good for baseball as a whole that he's in pinstripes and he's more front and center now. Like you mentioned, the East Coast bias and the fact that you're going from the Padres to one of the blue blood of Major League Baseball. Like this,
you're not going to stay up.
A ton of attention.
You're not going to stay up at 10 p.m. I'm sorry. You can be the biggest baseball fan, but like at certain times, when you can stay up when you're like in high school, middle school, college, and you have that kind of liberty. After that, you don't have that so much. But
baseball won the week this week with the Juan Soto. It's a big deal when ESPN is sending out push notifications, alerts that people are talking about Juan Soto and the Yankees versus who's playing Thursday night football or where's Taylor Swift going to be at this coming week, which NFL stadium.
Exactly. So this was huge. So as a baseball fan, I enjoy that. Now, if I put my Rays hat back on after a minute of not having it on, it sucks that a guy that I root for, that I like seeing him succeed, now I can't root for him. Now I can't bring myself to do it because he's a Yankee. So that is the dichotomy. That is the duality of man right now as a baseball fan that enjoys really good, talented players. But then when they have the pinstripes, I can't see myself rooting for Juan Soto, and I'm going to kind of miss that because he's an amazing player.
You got the whole Soto shuffle. He brings some energy and some enthusiasm to the sport for sure. We have more to discuss on this and beyond, but first we have to tell you this. as the weather gets colder, maybe not in Florida, Arizona, and Southern California, but other areas of the country, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's 150 buckaroos if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action than right this very moment. The app is super easy to use, and there's a wide range of betting options, such as spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So go ahead and visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn, LOCKEDON. I'll repeat it again, FanDuel.com/LockedOn to kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, they are an official partner of the NFL. So, Ulises, first off, do you believe, are you under the impression like I am that Soto is eventually going to ink an extension? Scott Boras is going to help him land a long-term contract with the Yankees upwards of, I don't know, 350, 400, 450 million dollars.
First, I think he's going to ask for more than 440 because that's what the Nationals offered him. And he said, nah, fam, I'm good. So definitely more than 440. And no, I don't think he's going to sign an extension. He's not going the Mookie Betts route, which is I'm going to get traded, sign an extension, I'm done. Nah. I think Scott Boras is saying, look, you might love New York as much as you want. They might show us $500 million. But guess what? It's better to get the Mets involved and the Dodgers involved and everybody involved picking at you, because then you're going to drive the price up instead of just dealing with one team. So no, I don't think he's going to sign an extension. I think he's going to live out his last free agent, last arbitration eligible year, hit free agency, and then he's going to have fun, because a guy that does the Soto shuffle is going to have fun being a free agent.
So in 2025, spring training 2025, you don't necessarily believe he'll be in a Yankees uniform.
Correct. I mean,
okay,
if the Giants say, hey, we got to get a star, we don't have a star, I see the Giants as a thing. And you know what? Uncle Stevie Cohen, if he doesn't get what he wants, back-to-back years.
Could you imagine the Yankees losing Juan Soto to the Mets?
That'd be so great.
That's why I think that the Yankees have to be serious about doing whatever they can to make sure that Soto remains in that uniform for the long, long haul. But beyond that, besides that, so obviously major moves for the Yankees thus far, maybe more in the pipeline, I think, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We have rumors of Shohei Ohtani or the Blue Jays really courting, which why wouldn't they, and going all in on trying to land Ohtani. So that could come to fruition sooner rather than later. And then the Orioles playing a little bit of a part as well in inking Craig Kimbrell as what I imagine to be their closer or extremely high leverage reliever. So you have all that going on in the backdrop. And what do we have with the Rays? I joked about it, adding Chris Davinsky, but also the fact and the likelihood that Tyler Glasnow is not going to be on the team. And there's talks of them listening to offers on Randy and Isak and Margot and Harold Ramirez. And then you have the uncertainty of Wander, Shane McClanahan out for the season. That's why this has me worried. The fact that these other teams in the division are doing things and have good things coming their way, whereas the Rays are like stepping back and really taking a step back, from my vantage point anyway.
Yeah, which and that makes sense, but I just don't see how a team that won 100 games in 2021 then comes back with 99 in 2023 and would even think about taking a step back. Like, I just feel like that is so crazy. Like, that is such a unimaginable thought for so many other fan bases. Like, you've gone to the playoffs 5 times in a row. You have a tremendous core, and you can't pay $25 million to your supposed ace. And I know the seal clappers are already angry. They're saying, but you can get more talent right now for Tyler Glasnow. He could give you so much more. But if you trade Tyler Glasnow, you might be better in 2025, 2026, 2027, but you're not getting better in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're just not.
And
Because
I think they're okay with that. Honestly, I think they're okay with kind of holding forward or taking one step back so they can go 2 or 3 steps forward in the future based on all the bad news that's come to them of late. And now you have the added wrinkle of these other teams in the division going ham, for lack of a better term. Like if the Blue Jays legitimately land Ohtani, I mean, okay, might as well pencil them in for 100 wins. Orioles, they're only getting better, I think. And I think they had more wins than the Rays with a lower payroll. So what does that tell you? And the Yankees, I mean, I think they're getting to the point where they will do whatever they have to do to make the playoffs this coming year.
Yeah.
They can't go another season without making the playoffs, especially with some of the name brands that they've acquired of late.
So the odd man out is the Red Sox. And I know there's expanded playoffs, but that doesn't guarantee you anything. So do the Rays have a really good team still? Yes.
Yeah.
If they trade Tyler Glass now, do they decrease their possibilities in 2024? Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Because whoever you get back is not going to be a game changer for right now. He might be a game changer for September 2024 when they bring him up or when he starts, getting a little bit more seasoning in him. But you're not going to get a guy that's like ready to be the dude, because so why would you trade that guy? You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't trade that guy. So it's an uneasy feeling, but right now on December 8th, although we're recording on December 7th at night, people, I still think the Rays are better than the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Now, switching to Ohtani just real quick here. Man, if I have a double-edged sword with Soto and going to the Yankees, I feel like it's even tougher with Shohei Ohtani, because to be quite frank, Kevin, and I'm sorry, Locked On Race listeners, I'm sorry. I would be so happy to have Shohei in the AL East. I would get to see the most talented baseball player that has ever lived. So much more. Not just highlights, not like, oh, let me see this at bat. Oh, let me see this inning. No, I would get to watch the whole Shohei Ohtani experience for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And it would be amazing. It would be a tremendous thing. And to be even more frank, if he goes to the AL East, to the Jays, for example, I want to see greatness, and some people are going to be upset at this, but if the Rays are playing the Jays and Ohtani's pitching, I want him to go 7 shutty, get out, and then the Rays win it against their bullpen. That's what I want. And I want Shohei to go deep twice, but the Rays win the game. Like, that's what I want, because he is that much of an amazing player, at least to me.
Hey, if we're looking at silver linings here, I mean, as far as attendance and ticket sales, I would think that every home game where Juan Soto is on the other side, where Shohei Ohtani is on the other side, butts better be in those seats,
right,
for those outings. So I think that adds some intrigue for sure. And as far as the Blue Jays, I guess, if Ohtani signs with them, better them than the Red Sox, better them than the Yankees, better them than, I would even say, the Orioles. I mean, the Orioles are our main counterparts now for the next several years.
Yeah,
so,
they whooped them. They whooped the Rays, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of unforced errors by the Rays in that Orioles series, but still, they did it. They won.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think Jase would be the silver lining here, because I feel like it's still. I feel like the Rays are a better team than the Jays, and they're a better organization. So I wouldn't feel too threatened with Shohei Ohtani there, but you get all the pluses of having the most talented player in your division. Am I alone, by the way? Am I too crazy about the Ohtani thing here? Or do you think more Rays fans agree with my sentiment of like, let me see him shove. I want 2 homer games against the Rays, but then the Rays win the game.
I mean, I think you're talking about a fan base, and this is really any fan base, that anytime there's a loss, the sky is falling, the world is coming to an end. So I don't think that, I guess if you're a Rays fan, you can't cheer for anybody else because there's such a large chip on the shoulder there.
But what
As
about like you
unfortunate
want
as it seems.
him to succeed, but then his team not to? Like again, he
Yeah, I don't
throws.
know if you can have it both ways. I really don't.
What
I mean,
about
I'm with you. I don't disagree with you. I like to see, at the end of the day, I'm a sports fan and want to see, I mean, the opportunity or multiple opportunities maybe to see Ohtani in person or on television.
that'd be
I
so
wasn't
great.
watching. I mean, it was kind of a treat anytime the Rays were facing the Yankees, and there was an off chance that he would start or be on the mound. So now that this could and would become a reality, I think, the hard sell for Rays fans and fans of other teams in the division is that, he locks up with the Blue Jays. It's going to be 8, 10, 12 years. So that's a lot of stiff competition coming. And I would think that it has a snowball effect in the sense of, if Ohtani's with the Blue Jays, that's going to attract other guys, whether it's international signings from Japan, Korea, or just guys that, hey, I want to play alongside and with, one of the greatest athletes in all of professional sports, and maybe could go down as the most talented ball player ever.
Yeah, I mean, when Ronald Acuna Jr. goes free agency, or maybe even Juan Soto next year, they're like, you know who I'd like to play with? Shohei Ohtani. I would really like to be, that guy. I don't know. I feel like it's like the fantasy, when you're in fantasy baseball and then you're like, oh, they're playing against my team, but I really need the points. So I want them to kind of do really well with my team to win. That's kind of like I'm seeing it.
Right. It's like you've got you got a rival's running back on your roster and you want him to go off, but you still want your team to win at the end of the day in real life, in the real life environment for sure. So a couple quick things before we move on to baseball trivia, name that war. One, do you ultimately think Ohtani signs with the Blue Jays over the Dodgers, Giants, Angels, Cubs, and other teams that have been rumored or connected?
I don't think he's going back to the Angels. I think the Dodgers are obviously the chalk, so I don't want to do chalk. I want to go, and again, I really wanted I want to see greatness, man. So I'm gonna pull for the Jays on this one. So there you go, Toronto Blue Jays fans. You're welcome.
So, and you said $500 million may not be enough to sign Juan Soto.
Around there, I think he's going to see a 5. So I think Shohei is going to 550, 600, 580. Like it's going to be.
I mean, if Juan Soto gets $500 million, if I'm Ohtani's agent, and I don't know who his agent is, if it's Boris or somebody else, I would say, okay, I basically do what Soto does at the plate, and I also pitch. Give me 700. Give me $750 million.
If he hadn't gotten hurt, Kevin, he would have been able to do that. He would have exactly been able to do that. Yeah.
Oh, I think you got to hold out for a six burger, $600 million at least.
Yes, agreed. Hopefully he gets it.
Crazy numbers that are being thrown out. But hey, when you're a 10 WAR player, that's what it commands. Plus all the international attention and eyeballs, sponsorship opportunities that come with it. I mean, Ohtani mania will become a real thing for sure. All right, so we'll keep track of that going forward. Just another opportunity for baseball to win the week or win the month. Normally we're talking about college football, NFL, but when you have a Juan Soto trade and maybe an Ohtani acquisition or signing soon, that puts baseball on the map again. All right, baseball trivia, name that war. Ulises, what do you have in the viewpoint of baseball trivia?
I think I've talked about this guy during this episode. Shohei Ohtani is one of 9 players in MLB history with multiple 40 home runs, 20 stolen base seasons. Who are the other 8 players?
Oh, you want me to name all 8?
Let's see if you can get there.
Multiple 40 homer, 20 stolen base seasons.
This is correct.
So 2 is okay. It's acceptable.
correct. So if you've done it twice, you're in this club.
All right. I'll say Ronald Acuna.
You would be correct.
I will say Barry Bonds.
You would be correct. He did it 3 times.
A-Rod.
You would be correct. He leads this club. He did it 4 times.
Wow. Okay. 40 home runs, 20 stolen bases. Are these several of these guys steroid era, or are we looking more into modern times here, or kind of a mixed bag?
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names left, and I would put my hand on the fire that they didn't do steroids for 2 of these guys.
So 3 may or may not have done steroids.
3, I am not putting my... One of them is like, nope.
Nope, that they did or didn't do steroids.
Nope, I'm not putting my hand on any fire for you. On a lighter. I'm not doing
Okay.
anything for you because you most likely did it.
Not saying this is indicative of anything, but Gary Sheffield.
Strike 1.
Damn.
By the way, when I said most likely did it, I should have said you definitely did it because you told us.
Oh man. I'm struggling here. I'm trying to put some of these guys out of sight, out of mind. You know what? I don't think this is correct, but I'm going to guess it anyway. Sammy Sosa.
Strike 2.
40 home runs, 20 stolen bases, times. We've got Acuna, Bonds, A-Rod, Ohtani. I'm pretty sure this is wrong. He's probably more of like a 40-18 Mike Trout. Let me take that back.
Okay.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes, very good. That's one of the 2 dudes that I would put my hand on the fire that they did not do steroids. Ken Griffey Jr., very good. He did it twice. There's one more guy who's definitely clean. And then the other 3, one is like definitely not. And then the other 2 are like, I'm not going to put my name or reputation on that.
Holy cow.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. Can I give you a hint?
Sure.
This guy wrote a book telling us how
Canseco.
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Jose Canseco did it 3 times.
Okay. I'm gonna guess it. Screw it. I've kind of been playing with house money here after I think I guessed wrong and then took back my guess. Carlos Beltran.
Tremendous guess. Very good guess.
But wrong.
3. I will tell you the other names.
Okay.
Do you want to hear the 2 iffy names first or the clean name first?
The clean name.
Hank Aaron.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I know. Sneaky speed, man. 2 guys I would not put my hand on the fire for. Jeff Bagwell. I don't know.
Thinking of him.
Do we know? I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think of him as a stolen base guy. I would have still leaned Carlos Beltran, which was pretty as close as it gets. Like he was a 41-18.
Yeah.
Then you have a 38-42. See, like kind of crazy.
You were close. You're close there. And the other guy who Sean Green. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know? You guys know that are watching this and subscribing on YouTube and hitting that like button? I don't know. You guys might know. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's really like that list and a very, very difficult feat. The old 40-20.
Multiple times. And a guy that's pitching around a 3.10 ERA has done it twice.
And that's why he gets $600 million. Okay. That was a good list. I like that. Hopefully the listeners on the YouTubes and the podcast enjoyed as well. Okay, name that war. I don't know if you're going to kill me for this one or if you're going to think it's a good selection, but I'm going to run with it regardless. I don't know how we got on this subject. I guess recently we had talked about Hall of Fame and talked about Adrian Beltre in the Rangers, and it just got me thinking about the Rangers a little bit. And I thought, why not? Let's pick a random name from Rangers lore and go with it. And this guy, his name is Rusty Greer. What is his career war?
I literally have 0 on Mr. Rusty Greer. 0. You could tell me he was a catcher, or you could tell me he's a center fielder, and I would be like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. No, nothing. Nothing on Rusty Greer.
Oh, boy.
So let's go. Let's go with a down the middle guess.
Okay.
Down the middle guess. If he's more than 20 WAR, I should remember him. But I mean, can you tell me at least the years that he?
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
And I thought, he would be a decent selection because he was kind of sort of in our adolescent stage.
Really?
1994 to 2002.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he was in those Rangers. Okay, gotcha. So Pudge teammate, A-Rod teammate, Juan Gonzalez teammate. Okay. So would we put our hand on the fire for this guy? I mean, I don't know. Let's go with a nice smooth 13 WAR.
Okay. And I'll tell you also why I selected him. I was looking up career high on base percentages, and he was pretty high up on the list with still being an obscure name. So he played 9 years, all with the Rangers.
Okay.
And made a name for himself because he has been inducted into the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame.
No. Oh, no.
His career line is 305, 387, 478 with 119 homers, 614 RBI, and 258 doubles. He drove in over 100 runs 3 times. And racked up 40 doubles in a season on 3 separate occasions. Did not make an all-star appearance, so probably was just right on the cusp of being able to do that. His career WAR, and he was an outfielder, left fielder primarily.
Okay.
I should note this. You love this stat. 119 OPS plus, 865 OPS. That's
I missed badly.
Gist of it. You didn't miss too badly, but undershot it. 22.4 is his career WAR.
Okay. No, man, those numbers, I mean, 305, 387 on base, 478 slug. That's a ball player, bro. That's a damn good ball player.
He could flat out hit.
I see the D WAR is negative every year, but I mean, when you're putting up those stats, who gives
that does not matter?
A bleep, man. That does not.
Again, he was probably overshadowed by some more prominent names on the Rangers during those years, but I do recall him kind of being a middle-ish of the order guy. If he was a 6th or 7th hitter, he'd be one of the best in baseball wherever he was positioned there. But
well, you know what? I would like to see that where he his lineup, because maybe that's another thing. When you're in a team that's stacked, man, you can really batting 7th, batting 8th, and the pitcher's like, oh, finally we're in the 7th, 8th hole, and nope, it's a dude that rakes.
Nope, you're screwed. Yeah. So I would have to look that up. I know he battled injuries his last couple seasons, 01 and 02, so he wasn't making as much of an impact. But from 95 to 2000, he was he was a force to be reckoned with. Again, kind of one of those under the radar guys that really put up a really solid career. It gives me almost like Jason Bay or Brian Giles vibes for some reason.
Ooh, okay. That's fair enough.
So
I like that.
that might
good,
that might have to be next week's Name That War, Jason Bay.
You know what? Oh, that's a good one. I'm seeing his batting order positions. He batted all over the lineup, but if you take his meat of the bones, it's batting third out of however many games he played, 579 games.
Wow.
He was batting third. So, wow, very cool.
Nice. There it is. All right. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you next week.